Hey, quick training for you guys. This one is going to be really valuable and make you a lot more money, especially if you have the belief that your audience is broke and they can't afford your product or your services. I used to believe this too. I had this belief that nobody could afford more than something super cheap for a music production course. I was clearly wrong. I now have a high ticket music production business where I've sold an $8,000 offer to broke musicians, or what they would consider broke musicians, right? There's a whole stigma attached to it, but clearly I was wrong and it's not true. And here's proof. I mean, here's my clients selling $1,300, $1,000. Here's a guitar coach charging 4K, 2K, 3K, 4K. So this is real. And here's my merchant account, one of them, as you can see right here. Those are all payouts. So this is all actual work. This has all been done. This is not actually just theory. So I want to walk you through this. So your audience actually isn't broke, right? They just don't believe that the value is worth the price. That's it. People will always buy something that they believe is worth more than the money that is asked in exchange. I'm going to read that one more time. People will always buy something they believe is worth more than the money that is asked in exchange. So a mistake is that most business owners believe that their audience has no money. It's this massive limiting belief that keeps them from doing the right thing. So most industries that we're in, like most of you guys are probably music teachers. Doesn't matter if you're a film creator. It doesn't matter if you're a photographer. These are billion-dollar industries. Why wouldn't you be able to make 100K, 200K, right? There's so much money in these industries and you truly believe that there's not enough for you and that your audience is broke. This is just a belief. And as long as you believe this, you're not going to take the right actions towards growing your business and charging enough so that your business can grow. So if you continue believing this, you don't improve the right skills. You just blame things on your audience, saying that they're broke, they don't have the money, when truly it's you and it's your sales skills, it's your marketing skills, it's the way that you're saying things. You're not presenting things well enough for them to truly believe that it's worth it. So you believe that things are out of your control, right? If they're broke, I can't fix their situation. That's out of my control. Or you end up fixing things that aren't broken. Maybe you don't work on your sales skills, but you work on, creating something else and working in a different industry. Or maybe you just end up giving up and going back to your day job. So if you don't break these beliefs, the only thing they're going to do is hinder you, because it's already proven it's not true that your niches are broke. Everybody is willing to buy something they believe is worth more than the money they give. Because why wouldn't you? If you truly believe something was worth more, why wouldn't you give something that you don't value as much for something you value more? Think about that. It doesn't make any sense, right? So anytime there's more value than what they give in exchange, they will always give you the money. They will always exchange it no matter what. If I said, hey, I'll give you $100 if you just give me $5, right? The value is clearly, they believe the value. They believe, well, $100 is clearly more than $5. I will trade you every single time. I would be stupid not to. And it's the same way. You just haven't presented it well enough. So the truth is, you haven't gotten good enough at demonstrating why what you sell is more valuable than the amount of money that you ask for. So this is a good thing, because you can work on this and you can fix this. So even if the value is truly greater, let's just say you're a piano coach. You truly believe that the value of what you give is way, way, way greater than the amount that you asked for. To you, right? You believe that. But if they don't believe that, they won't buy. So even if it's true, even if I could make you $1 million and I only asked you for $100, it doesn't matter, because if you don't believe it's worth $100 to trade me, you're not going to buy it anyways. The true value doesn't matter. The perceived value is what gets them to buy, right? So true value is worthless if their perception of the value is not there. If they don't believe that the value that you provide is worth it to them, the true value, what you actually deliver, doesn't matter, because you won't get a chance to demonstrate that, because they're not even going to buy. So the fix here is to focus on the skills that help them believe in the product. I know this is a little bit confusing, but again, focus on the skills that help them believe the product is worth it. So what you can do is better your sales skills, the way that you communicate, the way that you demonstrate how what you're selling is truly more valuable than what you ask, right? And you can better your marketing message. So if you have a marketing message that says, I can help you play guitar really well, that's weak. But if you said, I can help you play guitar at a professional level and land your first gig within 90 days, that's where they're like, that is so clear, it's so articulate that I see where the value is. So do you see how it depends on the wording that you say and the way that you articulate things? If you are not making sales or your marketing's not working, you just haven't got good enough at the communication to be able to demonstrate that value. And that is a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing. It sounds like a bad thing now, but this is something that you can fix. This is something that you can actually go out, you can get the skill sets, you can get better and better and better and better at. Whereas if you just straight up say your audience is broke, how do you fix that? How do you fix millions of people's problems if they're broke? Because if you say that they're broke and you can't do anything about it, you've just lost all control. The ball is in their court. They would have to change their lifestyle, their unbrokenness to be able to buy your product. Whereas the other way around, you can just get better at sales. You can get better at presenting the value. That's 100% in your control and you can fix that. So it's a good thing. A third thing for the fix is increasing the true value. Because conviction in your own product helps you deliver a better product, right? If you continuously make your program or whatever your service or product is better and better and better and better and better, you're truly deep down inside just going to believe how valuable it is. And if you truly are convicted and believe in your product, you're just going to 100% naturally get better at sales because you believe so deeply in the product and how much it can change people's lives. And if that's the case, you're going to get better at sales. You're going to get better at marketing because your message is going to make more sense. You can articulate it better, right? So if you increase the true value, you believe yourself will be convicted in your own product, and then you'll just deliver a better product. And as a side effect, you get better at sales, you get better at marketing. So I made this chart to show you guys this. As you can see, this blue line, we're going to say this is the cost of your product or your service. Now this gray line right here, this one that's super high, is true value. This green one right here is the perceived value. So this is what they believe in. The blue is the cost. The gray is how much it's actually worth. Okay, so if your true value is so far above the cost and the perceived value, that's great. That's a good thing. But here's the thing. If their perceived value is below the cost, as in they believe the cost is too much compared to what you deliver, but what you deliver is truly up here, it doesn't matter because they're not going to buy. So what you have to do is I don't know why I said that really weird. What you have to do is raise their perceived value. So you have to raise their belief in what your product is worth for them to pull the trigger and buy. Because once it crosses this threshold right here, where it's above the cost, this is where the buying decision becomes a yes. Down here, the buying decision will remain a no. As long as they believe that your product is too expensive, they're not going to buy. And if it's the same as the cost, they're not going to buy, right? Nobody trades the same thing for the same thing. If it's matched, they're not going to buy. It has to be above. The perceived value has to be above the cost. So the cost can continue to rise as long as you continue raising the perceived value and the true value. So again, perceived value must raise. That comes down to marketing and sales, right? So even if the true value is greater than the cost, they won't buy unless they perceive the value as greater than the cost. Perceived value is it's important for marketing and sales. So in order to make sales, in order to have effective marketing, your perceived value needs to be greater than the cost. Perceived value, cost. Now, the true value is also important, but the true value doesn't matter until you make the sale. So the perceived value has to raise to make the sale. And then the true value is important for client fulfillment. So whether they're happy, whether they get the result, this should be much greater than the cost. They should both be much greater than the cost. So ideally, both type of values are far beyond the cost. As long as they are far beyond the cost, and that there's constantly that discrepancy, even if the cost raises, you raise the value. Cost raises, raise the value. So if you're starting out at selling something for $1,000 and you want to sell it for $3,000, you have to raise the value and the perceived value. Raise it to $10,000, that's fine, but you have to raise the value and the perceived value. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. But just to drive this home, here's a couple examples. If you were walking down the street, right? Just broke ass guy. You're just broke and you're walking down the street, but you walk by a car dealership and you see this Lamborghini sitting outside with a window sticker that says $10,000. You're like, hold up. What? Is that for real? Because I'm pretty sure those cars are worth $200,000. So you walk into the dealership and you're like, is that real out there? Is that like some sort of scam or what? He's like, nope, it's real. It's 100% real, but just for today. What's the next thing you would do? You're broke, so you can't buy it. You would call up your parents, call up your long lost aunt, call up your cousin, call your bank, take out a loan, do anything that you can, because you know, you perceive, you believe that the value of that car is $200K, but the cost is only $10K. Even though you don't have $10K, you become resourceful and you go out and you find a way to get that $10K, because you know if you got that car, you would immediately be able to flip it for $200K. That's the same thing with your clients. Maybe they don't have the money right now, but if you show them why your product is so worth it and their perception of the value goes up, they will become resourceful and they'll find a way to get the money. Because people always buy something that they believe is worth more than the money they asked in exchange. Okay? And here's the thing. If you want to increase the perception of the value of your product, what you can do is raise your prices. Higher prices, just automatically, people assume that it's more valuable, even if they don't know it's true or not, even if it's not true. They just automatically assume that. It's the same thing, like if an example is like if you went to, if you were having open heart surgery, right? One doctor has a Groupon deal and says it's $100 for your heart surgery, right? Or the other option is, let's just say it's $100,000. But this doctor, you know, we don't even know like which doctor is good or not. One's just cheaper than the other. Which one do you automatically assume? Which one do you put your life on that will assume will better perform on your heart? You just automatically assume the doctor that's more expensive is going to take better care of you. That's just the way that it is. Another way to increase the perceived value is the time it takes to get them to their outcome that they want. For example, if you had a personal trainer, you were trying to lose 20 pounds. One personal trainer said, I can help you do it. I can help you lose 20 pounds. It's going to take 6 months. You're going to be like, okay, that's great. And then the next personal trainer says, I can help you do it in 2 months. It's the same amount of weight. One is just faster than the other. So actually, the one that's faster is more valuable. And you're probably more likely to hire the one that gets you the faster result and even pay more because it's worth more, because it happens faster. So if you can raise your prices, increase the speed of the fulfillment, this is how you can make a really good offer, and this is how you can truly raise your value. Hopefully you found this helpful. This is just a quick training. If you did like this and you want to learn how to, increase your value, sell higher ticket products, learn how to turn your music or your creative teaching into a high ticket coaching business, I will leave a button around this video so that you can book a call and talk to me, and I would love to see if I can help you grow your business. Otherwise, hopefully you got some value. Take care.